Right alongside me, Brooke Rusco. I love this time of year, and I love it when the pressure dial is turned all the way up to 11. Good evening.
It doesn't get much hotter than this, and I don't think either team really wants to be here tonight. The Hawks struggled to win at home. The Saints haven't been favored on the road as of late. I think both teams would like to get on the road. Saints like to get back home, but they have to get it done and throw the X's and O's out tonight. Just show up for your brothers, the people beside you, and go out and get this win. Grind it out.
Well, the Giants have just taken down the Jets by 5. The Jets with some big late shots that went missing, and the Giants now just have that sneaky little break in 6th. The Hawks with a chance to move in there if they can win by 20 tonight. The Saints out of form as well at the moment. They lost 2 on the road last week, but everyone's still in the race.
Everyone is still in the race. It's a huge win that we just saw there from the Giants, but the Saints need this one too, and they hold their own destiny. If they can win out, they're in the playoffs. They just need to start getting it done. Games ahead in the NZNBL. Have a look at tomorrow. What a treat for a Sunday. Make sure you join us back to back. The top 4 go head to head. Nuggets and Bulls, Tuatara and Rams. Going to be a lot of fun. And I don't know what to pick. Who do you go with? The Nuggets looking great with Ty Webster coming back. He's put that team back on the map. The Bulls have been great. Dan Fotu's in form at the moment. And we know what the Tuatara are doing right now. Corey Webster, you can never call him out too. So big games tomorrow. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, isn't it? You can catch all the action, of course, right here on Sky Sports. Starters tonight for the Saints: Mucius, Adnam, Liafa, Vidanovic, Smith, Milner. There is a significant out for the Saints tonight. We'll bring you up to date on that shortly. Right now, though, let's catch up with Coach Troy McLean.
I'm here with coach of the Wellington Saints, Troy McLean, coming off the back of a very narrow loss on the road at the end of a double-header. Main takeaways from that game?
Closed out games, better on the glass, stick to the scout, better coverages, right, all around. I thought the Jets played really well. Containment defense was probably the main thing.
We're getting to the tail end of the season. I know these Hawks are going to be pretty hungry to come out and get a win and try and climb that ladder. You're all pretty tight in that midsection there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a interesting situation for a lot of teams. We're sort of a little bit more, I guess, in control of our destiny with more wins, but you know, every game we're trying to go out and get better, so today's just another opportunity to do that.
Well, I know that you've got amazing support from the hometown crowd, sellout game and some of the fastest time in history for tomorrow, next weekend's matchup, but tonight I'm sure you're going to be here in Hawke's Bay looking for a win. Good luck.
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, it's always fun playing in the Bay, and the hosts and the town is always generous, and yeah, love the Bay.
Well, I'm not sure they're going to be too generous down the stretch tonight if it's a close one.
And he is right. They need to close out games, and it's the same thing with the Hawks. It's that monkey on the back at the moment. It's close to the end, but you just need to close out games, especially right now.
And what a story that is for the Saints. 10 days before their home game next week, selling out. Quite amazing. Starters tonight for the Hawks: Nartai, Ruspatch, Hunt, Harris and Lee. Interesting one here, not starting with a traditional point guard.
Not mad at it. Something had to change. Put Jordan Nartai at the point. I would imagine they'd run Jordan Nartai at the point, have the ball in his hands. He was huge for the Hawks last time they played out and try and get him in the post.
They had 30 in that game. The Hawks back in round 1 took down the Saints by 14. Coach Everard Bartlett, he will desperately be hoping his team can finally win a game at home this season. Here he is.
Here with coach of the Taylor Hawks, Everard Bartlett. Everard, I'm sure as much as the fans are hungry for a home game win, these Hawks must be pretty hungry for it to happen as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, as you can see the ladder out there, we still have our shot to actually get to that playoffs. So, you know, we are hungry more than ever. And also, we do want to bring a win for the home crowd as well.
And I think these Wellington Saints, obviously a beatable team. You know, as you said, the ladder is really interesting this year. That midsection, it's pretty cluttered. It could be anyone's game.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're definitely coming in with a desperation as well. They know that their spots hasn't been solidified yet, and they're coming in. So we know that we have to set the energy, we have to set the tone, because we want it more. It's going to come down to who wants it more. We need to show that we want it more. So hopefully the boys are ready to turn it up.
Everard, best of luck tonight, mate.
I appreciate it.
Brooke, I am impressed with Everard. He's got that tight crew cut and no grey hairs yet. I don't know how he's done it. I want the formula. I want to know what the secret is.
Well, he's got the secret recipe somewhere. He just needs to find the secret recipe on the floor, and they need to get it done. And it's a big one tonight as we look at this right here. These games, they're huge. You see 4 of their last 5, they've dropped 4 in a row as well. They just need to look after the ball, protect the ball at all costs. And if you're doing it in the regular season, it's going to transfer over into the playoffs as well. If you're turning the ball over, you're just not going to get it done. But then you go down to the very bottom there as well. Possessions per game, first and second to last. There's a lot in this. I also think, as I said at the top, chuck out the X's and O's. Show up for each other. Bet for each other tonight. Who wants it more? Fight from the start to the end and just go out and win the game.
All the stats, of course, with thanks to our official stats partner, the TAB, with the head-to-head tonight. The coin officials for this one. And it is a big game for Tim Brown, Reese Hamilton and Sasha Nicholson as the Hawks and Saints go head-to-head. Now, the big out for the Saints, and there is a backstory to it, and I've got to tell you, I'm a little bit stumped. I'm very surprised when this news came through prior to tip-off tonight. No Dane Samuel, out for personal reasons. Now, I believe he's currently on the other side of the world in Paris, about to play in the World Street Ball Championship.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a little bit vague with the details, but from what I hear, it's the exact same thing. He's in a tournament with Chris Golding. If you haven't heard of the name Chris Golding, an amazing shooter from Australia, plays with Shea Illy in Melbourne United.
Fair player.
Great player. But halfway through the season, or sorry, the tailor end of the season, they've lost Dane Samuel, who was one of their starters as well. So it's a mixed up starting lineup for this Wellington Saints team as well.
And we don't know if he's coming back for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, there's a lot up in the air with this one. And
I'm stumped. I just cannot believe, however that has worked out, whether it's Dane, whether it's the team, he's such an important player for this team. And he's not out here tonight. It's a massive blow. It is a big story in the context of the season. And as I said, as we get underway, I'm not sure whether Dane Samuel will be back in season 2023. Amazing story to start this one tonight. We're underway with the Hawks having first possession. Jordan Hunt gets the start tonight. He gets the opening shot and it doesn't roll for him.
Good look though. Got it into the post. Jordan Hunt in the starting lineup as well. Isaiah Liafa is a bulldog down there. And he's been doing with the breakers in the ANBL as well. Hard to back him down, but good look. Good position. Got it to where they wanted it. Just couldn't convert.
My tip midweek, as Russ Batch goes up with the deep corner shot, was for a Hawks win. And I think they've definitely got a bigger chance now without Dane Samuel coming off the bench. If the Hawks can get up tonight, they are right back in it. Adnam searching, hesitation, delightful, gets the opening points.
Just plays with all the time in the world. Nothing really going there first possession as well. Managed to get Ethan Rusbatch on his heels, got into the paint. Took his time.
Here's Rusbatch turning the corner. Hunt, oh, good pass inside through hands. And Tohi Smith-Milner did enough in the end to stop the shot.
And way to get there and cover that one at the end. But if the Saints want to get this, they have struggled all year on the defensive end. They can fill it up. They can fill it up with the best, and they do. They just need to get stops down this end.
Hawks still searching for their opening points of this one. Ngatai to Lee, and Lee off the glass. He's been good this season.
Yeah, big pickup halfway through the season. They missed him at the start. They're going to need a big one from him tonight.
18.5 points and 9 rebounds a game on the turnaround. Adnam does get the drop.
And he hasn't been Adnam form as of late. He was huge in the middle of the season. They were picking up wins as well. He needs to get back to the form that we know he can get to. And it's just been an interesting one with him and Isaiah Liafa. We expected the world. I think they will find it, but they have to find it soon.
Ngatai straight into the post tonight. It worked well against the Saints at the top of the season. A number of these Hawks named in Pero Cameron's Tall Black squad during the week for the FIBA World Cup. Tohi Smith-Milner was as well. His pass there too deep for Tom Vodanovic. Talking of that squad, no Tom Vodanovic. He withdrew from being selected because he is about to head to the Philippines.
Yeah, and another cool story that we hear was some lucrative deals. We heard about Tai Wynyard during the year, went to a 3-on-3 team in China called the season with the Rams, and went and got the bag. And from what I've heard, Tommy's in a good place too.
Deep two Goes begging for Ira Lee. Vidanovic, oh, Lee, great hands in front of Smith-Milner. Comes up with it for the Hawks, and he shows a bit of speed. He may go coast to coast, searching for the foul. Harris helps out underneath off the glass. Good play, Hawks, and good play again from Hiram Harris.
And they're going to need a vintage Hiram Harris game if they want to get their first home win of the season. Always in the right place at the right time. I like that there too. Big bodies around, took his time, finished under control, and then back into it. Almost forced a turnover.
14 points, 9 rebounds a game this season for Hiram Harris. He shoots the ball from long range at 32%. I'd like to actually see him take a few more shots from deep. Here he is, right on cue. Hiram Harris has Mucius in front of him. The Saints defender did well. Ball back out to Natai, short on the shot. 4 apiece early.
Good look from Natai though. He was huge last game from deep. They didn't get the win, but he was big. You want to see him get a few up early too.
Harris hands it off to Jordan Hunt, who is known to be very good from beyond the arc. We really haven't seen it this season. He gets the start tonight, and he'll be very happy to see that first one go down.
Way to stretch the floor too, as we see Tom Vidanovic down the other end. Try and get their 3 back.
Adnan also has a look. Liafa unable to keep that one in. Early stages here tonight. Such an important matchup, especially for the Hawks, who, if they get this one tonight, they go back to equal 6 with the Giants, who have just taken down the Jets earlier this evening by 5 points in Nelson. The Jets still in it, but they're going to have to, you would think, win every game from here as Hunt misses the shot and then commits the foul.
It looked like a lot of contact on that drive. Nothing caught on it. And that's okay too. If it continues to stay like that, it goes both ways. Let the boys make the rules. But a lot of contact on that last drive.
Troy McLean, pensive as always, pushing the instructions out there to his team. 2 losses on the road last week for the Saints. Vidanovic, not far away on the shot, coming down. Elijah Thomas, wrong place. Commits the foul. Was better in his second game last week. That opening game of his against the Bulls, fouled out in just over 5 minutes of action.
That might be a record.
Got to be up there.
And it's a hard one too when you come in at this point of the season, especially as an import. Just try and see the physicality of the league.
I'll tell you who will know the record will be Casey Frank. He has talked about it.
He might have it.
He might have it, actually. He has been up there before at the top of that particular stat. Thomas knocked out of his hand once. Second effort was good.
And love the fight down there, but I like that they didn't call it. The reason I like that they didn't call it, as we talked about it just before, is physical down the other end. Physical down this end too. A lot of contact in it, you're right. If you're not going to call it down the other end, don't call it down this end. Battle through it. Big play. Kenneth Tuffin is a capable shooter as well. We saw what he did a couple of years ago when he was playing with Dion Brewster. He was really in his rhythm, in his flow, was shooting the ball well, was playing amazing defense. He had space and time on that last one too. Love to see him just get that one up, find that confidence. It's a wide open shot.
There's the QR code on screen for the team merch with thanks to New Balance and Belgravia Apparel. Click away and go through and shop to your heart's content. Final 6 not too far away. Make sure you turn up in your colours at Trust Arena. And regardless of the result tonight or the 2 results tomorrow, it is unbelievable that with 2 regular season rounds to go, all 10 teams can make the final 6.
Yeah, that's why there was such a big game yesterday with the Tuatara and the Airs. They managed to get that done, the Tuatara, but the Airs need that one sitting at the bottom of the table. The team that they have changes late in the season. They need everyone. Everyone's important. That Tuatara team just too good at the moment. Tarangi went for 31. Rob Lowe did his thing down in the Naki, and they got it done.
Cam Glidden was awful in the first half Thursday night. Awful. Did not miss. I say that very much with tongue firmly in cheek. He was incredible in that opening half against the Airs, Cam Glidden. I just love seeing him when he's in hot form.
And he's hard to stop. It's one of those things, they got those players with that Tuatara squad, you know who's hot, and you just keep going back to it and they make it work. It's just smart basketball.
Jared Kenny into the game now. Here's Nartai down low on Tuffin. Musius is searching as well to help out. Harris had it, lost it. Tuffin comes up with it, has Musius running with him. He'll go it alone, and meeting him is Jordan Hunt.
Let's throw that lob up there to Musius. We know how high he can fly. Trying to attack the rim. We see a turnover going the other way. Just a little bit messy at the moment, but had Musius on the rim.
Make no mistake, there'll be a lot of nerves out here tonight between these two. They know how important it is. Tuffin for three. Won't drop for him. If the Saints get up tonight, it'll be their 8th win of the season, and you would think they are home in terms of a final 6. Hunt's already hit one from out here. Trying to tip it in Jared Kenny, but believe it or not, the door won't be closed. They'll have 1.5 feet in, but still a chance at missing out, even if they get up tonight. That's how close it is.
And a lot of it, I believe, rides with this man right here. Kyle Adnam hasn't had, like we just talked about before, his stellar performances, but right there gets an athletic Musius on the rim. As we see another turnover, just needs to have the ball in his hands.
Some of the fans thought there was a bit of contact there. Would need to see it again. Adnam for three. Can't respond. Harris, was he bumped out? Well, the whistle's gone, but it's going to be taken off him. Let's have a look at this again. Not right in that. I think
that a good no call.
Yeah, I think it was good to let that go. Hiram Harris pleading his case. He thought he was knocked out of play as he heads to the bench for a rest. Denham Brook comes in. So too Bryce McBride. And I'm really looking forward to see what McBride can do tonight. The Hawks need him to step up in his 3rd game. Thomas on the turnaround, short.
And just a bit messy at the moment. 7-6 with 6 minutes played in this ball game. Someone just needs to slow the game down, get people in their spots, get their rhythm, and then get out and break. As we see the wide open lane just open up and big bucket, and just what you talked about.
Well, that's a lot better, isn't it? Haven't seen Daron Arakawa tonight. Wasn't in the starting lineup. Wasn't in the first lot of subs. There's a foul there. And Thomas will head to the TAB stripe. Just looking down the Hawks bench as well, Brooke. I'm not sure that I saw Daron there. He has been named. I'll have a look for him.
No, he's there. There he is.
Maybe a late start for him this evening. Join the TAB, deposit $10 and get a free $50 bonus bet. Sal's NBL, get on board and support your team. T's and C's apply, of course. R18 and bet responsibly. The TAB stripe claims another victim early in this one.
And I think one thing that we expected from both these teams at the start of the season is for them to get easier shots. A lot of the shots that they've got this season have been tough, especially with the players that they have. Capable shooters who can fill it up. It just hasn't really found that flow that we're so used to seeing from both of these sides.
Great work by Ethan Rusbach. Kept it alive for the Hawks. Shot clock counting down. Great pass. Jared Kenny finds Denham Brook on the cut.
Right cut too there from Denham Brook. Smart play from Jared Kenny to get into the paint. They turn their eyes. Foul Denham Brook on the rim.
Thomas allowed to shoot. Takes the opportunity and comes up well short. A little bit concerned at the moment, Brooke, just looking at that Hawks bench. Daron Arakawa, who is so important to this Hawks team, just doesn't look like he's going to participate tonight. Not sure how you've seen it, but he looks very relaxed sitting there at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Would love to know why. He's been such a big, prominent part of the team. Looked okay in warm-ups. Has the ball in his hands a lot. Plays with that pick and roll. Gets about this spot as well. He's been big all year long. We see Ethan Rusbach with the three that they need. And not necessarily just the three. They need to see him make that three, because we know what he's capable of. Back in that Tall Black squad as well. He just needs to see a few go through. Last thing you want to see if you're a Saints fan.
Well, equally as the Dane Samuel story unfolds tonight, foul there. Legal screen against Thomas. That's his second foul. He'll head to the sidelines. Vodanovic back in. But there may be a little bit of a story unfolding with Orakawa as well. We know that he's had a few niggles this season.
Yeah, and they need him. If they want to get the job done, not just this game, but push to make the playoffs, he needs to be a big part of the squad.
Quick whistle there. Isaiah Liafa reaching in on McBride. Expecting a big response from the Hawks tonight. They've been called out a little bit in the media over the last few weeks, and I don't think anyone would disagree with it.
Nah. Well, I think there's a couple of things as well. Body language says a lot. And as we see, McBride hit every part of the rim and fall out. But body language is such a huge thing, and we expect both of these teams. History tells us that they're going to be there. Just looks a little bit different from years past.
Vodanovic, corner, jiggle meter into the action. Don't often see him miss too many opportunities. He shoots the three ball at over 50%.
And he puts the time in. Does a good job getting into the gym. Documented on TikTok pretty well, actually. He puts the time in and the results come.
I'll take your word for that.
You're not on TikTok?
Denham Brook, come on, mate. From deep.
Let's go. In a minute.
We've got a few other things in life to do.
Support the Swans.
Absolutely. Down by 7 early. The Saints, and Troy McLean into the action tonight. He's played a bit of basketball over the years. Of course, won a championship with the Saints in 2021, amongst plenty of other former championships. Geez, I'll tell you what, he's lost his touch.
Well, I'll tell you what, he can shoot it from there too. One of the best shooters Wellington's ever produced.
My word.
There's a microwave down there. He used to live in those corners at TSB and just light it up.
And he was one of the big stories, wasn't he, in 2021 when he made that comeback at, what, 41? Thereabouts?
Thereabouts, yeah. And they got the win.
They did. McBride. Harris now turns the corner. Love that step that he takes to the basket. Such a good player to watch, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's mastered it. He's been doing that for the last couple of years. The slow step, get the shoulder in. You see the good hands there from Tohi. Managed to regather that. But Hiram Harris does a good job with that extra slow step. Creates contact and finishes with ease with that left.
What's impressive here as McBride, that'll count. That'll go down. McBride will go to the TAB. That'll definitely count. What's impressive here is with 24.6 to go, GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Nice work from McBride. Saints have been held to 9 points.
Yeah, probably one of the worst quarters that they've had so far, especially when it comes to filling it up. A time when they need it the most. They can turn it around, especially with the talent that they have. We always go back to, this is a team that is stacked and riddled with talent from top to bottom. Guys that we know can fill it up. Tom Vodanovic has had multiple 10 3-point games in this league. Isaiah Liafa with the Tall Blacks, with the Breakers. Carl Adams been doing this for years as well.
The Hawks took down the Saints in round 1. You may remember that game. This man right here, Kyle Adnam, of course, left the court with an abductor strain 54 seconds or thereabouts into the contest. The Hawks started the season with back-to-back wins on the road, taking down the Bulls and the Saints. Adnam is fouled here late in this opening term. It seems so long ago since that huge start of, to the season by the Hawks.
And they had a huge win against the Bulls. Big comeback. I remember that one. Ethan Rusback.
Yes.
Forces it into OT. They had no right to win that game. They went out and did it. And who knows, that might just keep them in this playoff hunt and run.
This time, Kyle Adnam will head to the TAB. Always creative, crafty player, continually searching to make something happen.
It's such a teachable moment there for point guards coming up. He's slight. Kyle Adnam isn't tall as well, but created all that contact, jumped into the body of big. Noticed that they were out of position, managed to get them back on their heels, and knew that if he jumped into him, created that contact, he'd get to the free throw line. Smart play.
1.4 to play. Don't know that the Hawks will use their Sky City player timeout here. Certainly available to them. Most teams leave it heading into the half. They won't use it, and maybe a missed opportunity.
I hate when they don't shoot it at the end, especially when you have the chance. You're playing for the playoffs. Just throw that bad boy up. Who cares about your percentage?
Find a shot. Quarter time here. It is a good start, though, tonight by the Hawks on their home deck, believe it or not. Maybe first win of the season here at Pettigrew is going to come tonight. They're off to a flyer. They're up by 8. Second quarter not too far away. Stick with us. Welcome back to Pettigrew Green Arena. Good start tonight by the Hawks. Second quarter about to start. 8-point lead. All the stats with thanks to the TAB. Brooke Rusco, what are you seeing early in this one tonight?
Well, promising signs for this Hawks team. Managed to keep the Saints to just 11 points. 0 boards and turnovers for both teams. Things that are going to have to be cleaned up, and 0-7 from deep. And the Saints are going to have to see a couple of those go through.
Lucius inside, outside, Vidanovic hopping, skipping, finishing. Just the start the Saints needed to this second quarter.
Tough finish. In the paint, through contact with the left. Bodies all around and got it done.
Natai, little floater, gets the drop.
And that's a patented Jordan Natai floater. Haven't seen it as much over the last couple of years, but growing up, that was big for him. As you see Kyle Adnam pick up another foul on Ethan Rusbatch. But he was huge getting into the paint, and he could play the float game off both with 2 feet. Haven't seen that for a while. I'd love to see him go back to that. He's been going to the pocket pass nice and early in this ball game, finding his big slipping, but he has that in the bag too.
Vidanovic held to just 2 points in that opening quarter. Scoring was at premium for the Saints. Well held. Liafa yet to score. He hands this one off to Adnam. Well set, well balanced, halfway down, jumps back out.
Back in that zone for the Hawks. Did a pretty good job. About 20 seconds, Ethan Rusbatch gave up that straight line drive and gave Kyle Adnam the shot. Can't give that, but up until then it was good.
Adnam leading scorer for the Saints at the moment with 6. Rusbatch on the step back, then step through. Lee deep 2. That was a tough shot in the end. Loose ball will fall into the hands of the Saints point guard.
And nothing smooth really going for both teams. We see Jordan Natai pick up the foul. Excuse me, Tom Vidanovic pick up the foul on Jordan Natai. Went straight into the second row with a little laugh. They know what's going on there. But nothing really going in terms of flow.
Well, as much as it feels like a contest, which of course it is, just looks like at the moment both teams are just a little bit pensive, aren't they? They're just not taking the game on.
Well, I think that comes with a couple of losses too. as we see Tom Bodanovich get back into the paint. Smith-Milner tidy it up and get the friendly roll. But just after a couple losses, both sides, 4 for the Hawks. You can get a little bit tentative. Just got to get back to who you are and what you do.
Oh, Vodanovic over the back. He thought it was clean. No arguments in the end. Smith-Milner with that last basket. He also is in that tall black squad as well. Congratulations to him. There's the foul on the replay. We mentioned that round 1 game between these two earlier this season when the Hawks got home 88-74 in the capital. So much has changed since then, especially when it comes to imports. Marlon Taylor and James Sutherland were both in the Saints lineup, no longer here. And of course, Ira Lee and Bryce McBride weren't in the country.
No surprises there. There's obviously going to be so many changes throughout the season, but you're absolutely right. It's a completely different team, different squads. And it all comes down to this game tonight.
I just saw Daron Orakawa on the sidelines there. Spoke about him during the opening quarter. Still no sign of him stepping onto the floor tonight. And based on that and his importance to this team, going at 16 points a game, I think he might be planted to that chair this evening.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. And he's just played extremely well under control this year. He managed to keep the scoreboard ticking over when he gets back out there. It doesn't look like we're going to see him tonight.
Margin at 7 as Ira Lee commits the foul. If you've just joined us and you're wondering where Darnay Samuel is,
oui.
That's exactly where he is. He's in France at the moment, believe it or not. And here is Daron Orakawa. So just when we thought we may not see him, he spent the first 12 minutes sitting back watching, and he's out there. So good news for the Hawks. Jordan Hunt comes up with a nice rebound. And this definitely helps with the Hawks number 88 on the floor. Ira Lee in the end draws the foul on Smith-Milner.
I think this could be big for the Hawks as well. Having Daron come off the bench late in this game. Obviously, we've missed something that we're not sure of.
Are you surprised to see that he sat for the first 12 minutes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But as a player, when you sit there and you feel like you should be out there, even for the betterment of the team, normally it lights a fire under your belly. So Daron will come back out there, and he's a competitor. He's a fighter.
When I ever missed 12 minutes of anything in my life, it's usually because I didn't do my homework or clean my bedroom. Or
I would love to know the story. I'd love to know why. Maybe it was just how the season's played out. Something needed to change, looking for minutes somewhere else. They've got an import point guard, excuse me. You see Musius pick up the 3.
The good news is he's out there right now. This is such a grinding game at the moment. Both teams struggling to get going. Saints are shooting at just 28% mid-ranger, and that's what he does. Rakawa, welcome to the game tonight. And right on cue, he delivers, getting it back. Nartai could be back-to-back. Short. Harris, rebound, plenty of time to settle. Shot clock resets.
Daron looks like he's playing at a speed and looking to score. To be honest, Daron, in this first couple seconds, is playing how I feel like everyone else should be playing. Aggressive, looking to score, taking those backward steps. A point to prove, wants the ball. Got a little bit messy there as well.
Smith-Milner just getting after it in a major way. Won it back for the Saints. Kudos to him. Real tenacity.
And just quietly, they've blown the lead back out to 10. Biggest lead of the game so far. They've had it at 10 a couple of times. Can't blow it out further than that.
Just looking at Hawkeye the Hawk over in the background there, and looks like Hawkeye the Hawk has shrunk by about 2 foot. What's happened there?
He doesn't have a singlet either.
It's not the normal Hawkeye the Hawk. Smith-Milner has that one tapped away.
And we have been hard. Those are good shots. That's a good shot there from Tohi. Right in the paint, float game with the touch that he has. A lot of them just come short as well.
Nartai again getting busy. Hiram Harris will get awarded those points as they all went after that putback. And this is good from the Hawks right now. Out by 12. I said at the start, if they win by 20 tonight, they actually jump to 6th. They'll go over the top of the Giants. I'll tell you what else I'm going to jump at tonight once we're off air. Sal's Super Special. Pick up only with the online code. It's an easy one to remember, Dunk. Available to next Wednesday, the large cheese pizza for $25. You at home can jump on that now. I'm jumping on it as soon as we finish up tonight.
Oh, that is a bargain. Dunk, easy one too. Can't fake the funk too.
Would you share that with me?
I'll be honest with you, probably not.
Would you pay for mine?
Chickens and the savings, you know, sometimes it's hard.
Here we go. So I'm not sure where this game is at right now, other than the fact that the Hawks are leading by 12. The Saints held to just 15 in 14 minutes.
I'll be honest with you, it feels like a really worrying sign for the Saints squad. You need this one. Obviously changes during the week. Dane Samuel, as we talked about, has gone to Paris. But that doesn't excuse coming out with an effort like this, 15 points right now, and just can't get it done. And actually, I take that back. I don't know if it is a lack of effort. It's just not working at the moment. It's not as fluid as we're used to seeing. It
seems nervous, doesn't it? That'll give us something else to talk about on Wednesday night. Hoopheads, join us at the desk. In fact, you will be joining us at the desk next week.
Make my first appearance. A little bit nervous about this one.
Looking forward to that. Andrew Mulligan somehow got some holidays signed off for the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure who signed that sheet. Tuffin for 3. Oh, that helps the Saints.
And friendly roll, but good play. Went one side, pin, screen for Tuffin, and touched every part of the rim. But it managed to fall, and they forced the turnover down the other end. And maybe Kenneth Tuffin is their X-Factor player. He was huge in that season when we talked about them winning, and he would make constant plays like that. Couple threes a quarter, was a pest on the defensive end. And maybe he's what they need right now, that X-Factor. Just to see a few go through.
I think they also need a bit more out of this man as well. Isaiah Mucius averages 15 points a game, but in the last 2 weeks, going at just 8 points a game.
And better right there from the Saints. Wasn't as stagnant. Ball movement, got it from side to side. If you have nothing, get the ball back to your point guard, shift, make the defensive move. Earlier in the first quarter, there was a lot of stagnant watching the ball plays being run by the Saints against their zone. Right there, back-to-back good plays against the zone.
TAB stat sheet, Ira Lee with 2 fouls. You heard the groans of the crowd. It's the 5th time that Kyle Adnam has been fouled in this game. Thomas, this is probably what he should have put away. Here's Nartai. Now through hands, ends up with Arakawa, backs it out, calls up Ira Lee, pulls up, loves getting to that spot, does Daron Rakawa, does not disappoint.
And likes the matchup. Went 4 flat, caught up the screen with Thomas, knows that he's got the foot advantage, playing in the drops. As you see Adnam pick up the foul on Rakawa. But likes what he sees. He knows he's going to get to his spot. Then it just becomes make or miss, and he wants it.
They're scoring so hard tonight. That last Kenneth Tuffin 3 was the first for the Saints in over 2.5 minutes as Adnam heads back to the TAB stripe. Been a tough night for points for this team. They're down by 11, make that 10.
And when it is tough, this is where you need to get back to. You need to get back to the free throw line. Just make sure you stay in arm's distance. If you see Kyle Adnam miss one, he doesn't miss many. But just get back to the free throw line.
Everyone seeing... Oh, Ira Lee, put that down, baby. With force.
Out of nothing. Went to the left. Through contact.
I reckon he was telling the official, the coin official, Tim Brown, all about it as well.
Big, strong body. We call that doing the dishes. Finishes and throws it home.
Don't worry about doing the dishes. That was throwing the plates around. Like, that was serious force in the end from Ira Lee. Hits the bonus from the TAB. And didn't that get the crowd up and going?
And it needs to get the crowd going, but it also needs to get them going on the defensive end. Yeah, they managed to keep the Saints to 19 as we see a straight line drive, and that's just not it. It needs to get them going down the other end and continue to get stops. But I like that Musi has put his head down, got to the rim and used their athleticism.
Lowest halftime score of the season for the Saints will be in real jeopardy at the moment, you would think. Just 21 on the board at the moment. They do head up the floor with a head of steam and add another 2. That's all about the Kyle Adnam pass. Vodanovic good enough to finish it. The look away from Adnam, how many times have we seen that this season?
And it's always tough when you get out in transition off the turnover. I know Ira Lee just threw down the big one, but I think Ethan Rusbatch was throwing that to Dwight Howard. Turnover going the other end. Smart cut there from Vodanovic. Finishes through contact with the right, going left. Gets back to the free throw line, and just like that, cuts it to 9.
Tough night at the office at the moment for the man in the background there, Isaiah Liafa. Just one shot, hasn't scored yet. He's got a -11 on the plus-minus as well. If he can get himself going, it'll definitely help. I'll tell you what does help, Jared Kenny doing those sorts of things.
But it starts back with Rokawa. As they're high on ball, gets into the middle of the paint. Collapses the defense and finds the wide open shooter.
Good hand, Denham Brook. Saints will keep it. Will the Pettigrew green ice be broken tonight for the Hawks? Been such a tough run here for them. And that average losing margin on the 6 losses here is just 6.8 points.
It's close.
So it's really close.
4 overtimes, a couple buzzer beaters. They've been in games. It's just a monkey on the back now.
Smith-Milner for 3. Adnan does well, puts it back for 2, and the Saints just starting to get on a bit of a roll now.
And something you don't see very often. Adnan crashing the boards, right place, right time. And finishes with a floater.
He's got 9 in the game. Rakawa, Adnan battling around the body of Jordan Hunt.
And good D that time. We've complimented Rokawa the last couple of possessions as we see the swing pass to the corner and Adnan there to hit the rims out 3, excuse me. But Adnan played good defense on the last position. Fought through the screens, a couple of them. Blocked the shot.
Here's Kenny, just hit one from that spot moments ago. Denham Brook with some space, hands it off. Rusbatch, oh, great pass, Ethan Rusbatch. Waiting hands, Denham Brook, that's one of the plays of the night.
And good job, because they went side to side. Managed to get it deep on one side with Jared Kenny, collapse the defense. Get it back to the other side, Ethan Rusbatch. Defense at 6 and 7s at that point. Finds his guy diving.
Margin hovering at 11. Vodanovic from deep. Tommy V comes up big.
And that's the luxury of having players like that. Nothing really going. 3 ball hasn't been falling for the Saints so far tonight.
Starting to make a run. Foul called there. And Vodanovic is warming up as well. 8 points for him this quarter on the TAB stat sheet. And we've seen this a number of times in games here this season, where the Hawks either just go into a shell or they just struggle.
And an interesting one for me. Jerome's come off. Big impact since he entered the game.
I'll tell you what though,
well, that
if
works
Bryce
too.
McBride does that, you'll take that.
And if they can get this going
long.
too, the 1-2 punch. One guy's out there, the other guy's getting a break. Maybe that's what the doctor ordered. Great pass, good finish, good seal. That pass looked like it was easy. That was a tough pass with the left. Have to put it on the money away from the defense.
Saints twin towers working together there. Vodanovic and Smith-Milner, the ladder there. Maybe just getting a hand on it. Hawks hold possession.
Good look though. Just came up with the knee. It's a little bit low there for Jordan Hunt. Playing with that on ball again with Jordan outside, ball in his hand. Slightly low, but it was the right play.
Opportunity. Oh, who got the final hand on that?
I'll have a guess. Hiram Harris. And he's done that a couple times tonight. You have to box him out, know where he is at all times. Like we said a couple games ago, they don't really run plays for him anymore. But they don't need to. He's going to get it done.
Vodanovic wants it inside. Liafa goes from deep, still searching for his opening points of the game.
It's the three ball that just hasn't been kind to the Saints right now. 2 of 14. Under 14% in this first half indeed.
Here's Nartai, shot clock at 8. The old give and go, switches it out to Rusbatch for 3. Oh, that one was halfway down as well. That would have been more than handy heading into the halftime break. Can the Saints respond?
And I think the Saints will be pretty happy with this. Clearly hasn't been the best half they've ever had.
Vodanovic, Rusbatch came flying through like Superman. Hawks survive. McBride on the move. Oh, how about the step back from Nartai?
And that was nice. But the worrying side for me is that you need this at the Saints. You're down, you're on the road. And 2 people don't get back past half. Just can't happen at this time of the year when you need it more than anything else.
The little head fake from Jordan Nartai solved the dummy, then charged back towards the basket. That's why this man right here is in Pero Cameron's Tall Black squad. Plays like that.
It actually starts with the feet too. If you watch Jordan Nartai, he's naturally had this from a younger age. Yes, he does work at it, but he does a really good job when he gets into the post with having his feet balanced. His footwork is great in the post, and then the finesse that comes with it later, he's mastered that as well.
Well, that was selling the candy, that last score. Selling the candy. You've heard that saying, haven't you?
I have once or twice.
Everyone was chasing the lollies.
Got him with the candy.
And he just went straight back to the basket. 21.2 to play, just fixing up the clock here. 13-point margin. Liafa. As tough as it's been for him so far tonight, if he can come up with something special right here, will give the Saints some confidence. They're going to use all the time they can. Sends it back out. It was a hard pass to take. Adnam, Vodanovic, miss. Hawks, will they use a player timeout? They won't. They will get a late shot up though. Comes up short off the hand of Nartai. And in fact, Hiram Harris just saying to his team there, hey, we should have used the Sky City player timeout. He knew straight away. But you have to be impressed with what we've seen so far. Hawks by 13.
Yeah, big half from them. And I think the Saints, like I said just before, body language needs to pick up as they're walking off here. But they're not out of this contest. They haven't had a good half. They need to come back in the second and show why they have been champions time and time and time again.
Round 13, Sal's NBL action. It's been another big Saturday. The Giants took down the Jets earlier tonight by 5. And at the half here, the Hawks are holding firm. TAB stats on the other side of the break. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to Pettigrew Green Arena this evening. Happy hometown fans at the moment, as they should be. It's been a tough season for them, searching for wins, but the Hawks leading this one at the half. Let's have a look at the stats with thanks to the TAB.
And you just constantly have to tip your hat to Hiram Harris. Nothing's wrong for him. He's got 9 points right now, but the big one is Bryce McBride. 8 points. We haven't seen that from him up until this point. Came into this game, was aggressive. Kyle Adnam, we expect nothing less from him. He got going nice and early in their second quarter. For Tom Vodanovic, had 8 points, but I guess the worrying sign through all of this is that there's a name that's missing. We haven't seen Isaiah Liapa fill it up or even score in this ball game. He needs to get it going in the second, and we expect nothing less as well with Hiram Harris and Ira Lee back up there on the rebound count, and they're killing them on the rebounds. Hawks are up 9, 26-17 on this game. They just need to go and clean up the glass if you're the Saints. And this is a worrying sign too here. Assists just aren't coming in this ball game, but it's hard. Saints have only seen 12 buckets go through in this one, 18 of 36 from the Hawks, going to 50% right now. So they're doing all the right things. They just need to finish this one out and continue to play the way that they are playing at the moment. But the Saints just struggling to get it going on the offensive end, and we're seeing that with a lot of the stats that are playing out on this one. But I think Isaiah Liapa, if he can get going, that's the bad boy that can ignite this Wellington Saints team and get it going in this second half. Protecting the ball is a big one too.
Well, the bad news for the Saints in that opening half is their 31-point total is their lowest halftime score of the season. Their previous was 33 against the Tuatara back in round 3. So it is a tough night right now, and I hate to be banging the door down with the same news, but there's a reason there's no Darnay Samuel on that TAB stat sheet as well. Out of the team and maybe out for the season. Big news story breaking tonight. He is in Paris at the World Street Ball Championship. We don't know if we'll see him back this season. It'll be a talking point during the week. No doubt we'll pick that one apart on the hoop heads. But right now, the Saints have some picking apart of their own to do. They trail by 13 at the half as the Hawks come back out, and the third quarter isn't too far away. We'll see you soon. Halftime here at Pettigrew Green Arena, third quarter not too far away. Hawks with a 13-point lead at the half, lowest halftime score of the season for the Saints. And to put that into some sort of a context, Rusco, they had 35 in the opening quarter against the Jets last week. Some of the highlights from that opening half, and it was a solid start by the Hawks tonight. Good to see.
Yeah, very, very solid start. And they kind of stayed that way the whole way through. Bryce McBride came in, got to the paint a couple of times, hit a three as well. They just managed to keep scoring. 44 is not the biggest score we've seen all year and a half, but they managed to do it on the defensive end too. Went into a zone a couple of times, mixed it up. Just kind of made it tough, gritty, grindy. And the big positive sign is they kept the Saints to just 31 in a big first half. And if you're a Hawks fan, a long way to go, but a good start to get your first win at home on the year.
And that Ira Lee dunk was thunderous, wasn't it? Vodonovich got going in that second quarter. Smith-Milner doing his thing, but they've got to do a lot more in this third quarter tonight. The ladder in the Sal's NBL, round 13. The top four are playing each other tomorrow. Can't wait for that. Nuggets and the Bulls from 4 p.m. and then tomorrow night, Tuatara and the Rams. That game also live on Prime. But that is the ladder as it stands right now. The Giants taking down the Jets earlier this evening.
And it's such a big game, that Bulls and Nuggets one, because if the Bulls can't get it, they give themselves that little bit of space to hopefully go on to that 1 or 2 and you get their first round off when it comes to the playoffs. Nuggets, they want to fight for that spot too.
Well, they win tomorrow, the Nuggets, they jump back to second.
Yes, huge, huge game. In the Rams, Corey Webster's down there as well. They need to get that one. And what better challenge to go up against Rob Lowe, leading the league when it comes to MVP votes. Ruben Sarangi's been huge lately as well. Big, big game at Event Finder Stadium tomorrow night.
There are those games ahead, and of course, round 14 tips off on Thursday night. The Sharks and the Rams, and although the Sharks are in pretty poor form at the moment, they can still make it. That's the beauty of this competition right now. July 12, not too far away. So too July 20 to 23. Sal's NBL Final 6. Tickets on sale now. There's the QR code, Trusts Arena. And the reason why I mention July 12 is because, as you'll see in just a moment, Rusco, the GJ Gardner Holmes Ta'ihi Basketball Aotearoa Season 2 tips off. Can't wait for this one.
I'll tell you what, that was smooth like butter.
Every game live on Sky Sport. We've got a pretty good production crew behind the scenes.
Nailed that.
Also including the Sky Broadband Rapid League as well.
Can I just give a big shout out to, I think he's been playing amazing all year long. We talked about the Tall Black squad that has been named. Walter Brown.
Yes.
We talked about the Rams a lot. We need to tip our hat to him. He's been in the Tall Blacks before, but the way he's playing has been huge for that Rams team. It started all year long, and rightfully so, has made that Tall Black squad.
Looking forward to seeing Walter Brown and the rest of the Rams tomorrow night. Underway. What a start that is for the Hawks. Jordan Nartai, he thought he was fouled. Doesn't matter.
Went back to that floater, got to the paint just too easy. Just came off an on-ball. Finishes that, the slightest of touch.
Takes that margin out to 15. Adnam on the drive, can't get that to go. Battle on the boards again, off hands. Vodanovic pleading his case, but it'll go to the team in black.
And two good defensive positions right there within the same play, Jordan Nartai caught the diver and Tohi nice and early. And then Ira Lee moved his feet. Looked like there was contact in there, no call. Ball's going the other way.
Nartai slips it through on the reverse. Hunt can't get it to go. Musius comes up with it. Pulls up the dribble at the TAB. Nice pass to find Adnam in the corner. It'll be against Ira Lee. Going in a little bit too hard on Vodanovic. Musius tonight, just the 2 points. Liafa yet to score. There are two players that Saints fans will want to see get going in this second half.
And I would have loved to be in the fly on the wall at halftime. What was the approach that Troy McLean went with? I think at this point in the season we see the good hands there from Jordan Hunt and forces the turnover, as there would have been no boards, no clipboards, no plays, no markers. Look at each other in the eyes and show up one another in the second half.
Ira Lee off the glass. I don't know if you could be just stuck on a wall if you were a fly. You'd be one of those pesky flies at a barbecue that just keep buzzing around every time you go to take a bite of something. Mucius, that's what we needed to see for the Saints.
And that's a big, big three. They've struggled to shoot the ball well from deep in this ball game. As we see the quick double there come from Tohi as soon as they got over their halfway line. Almost forced that turnover. We're going to have to get back to more stuff like that. Make it junky, make it scrappy.
It's actually the Brooke Rusco fly that led to the invention of a fly swatter, I think. Harris for three to respond. Can't go.
And another stop. That's what they needed. Need to see a few of these in a row.
Definitely would have been an interesting conversation at the half, you're right. Verdanovic, here we go. Saints up and about all of a sudden. Everard Bartlett wants to have a chat. Some pressure being applied back on the Hawks. There's Tommy V for three on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay.
And right play by Smith-Milner. Picked up a little bit lower on that one by Jordan Natai. Everything had to drop further. Finds his shooter wide open at that 45 and he makes them pay. He's out to 11 now as Tom Verdanovic. Gets this ball game back a little bit closer, and I think one thing that they can play into right now for the Saints is the Hawks haven't won at home. We just have to keep it close. Like we said a couple times, that monkey on the back. They'll be thinking about that as this goes into the fourth. If it gets closer, so they get a little bit tighter. But if the Hawks can blow this one out and not even worry about it, can they do it right now?
Sal's NBL highlight show every Tuesday night at 7:30. That man right there getting up, Ira Lee. I think his dunk will feature prominently in that highlight show.
If it doesn't, it shows how great the league has been over the weekend. That was a good timeout. I like that timeout. A couple easy shots, especially a three there from Tom Verdanovic. Momentum was coming. Just try and ice it really, really quickly. Early in this third, absolutely. But I like the timeout.
I'm going to take you back to being that fly on the wall at half-time with the Saints. What if you were able to just fly your way into the Hawks rooms at halftime? What would the conversation have been there?
Good first half. Not great, but a good first half. Starts on the defensive end, finishes on the defensive end. You just have to continue to stop the Saints team, make it tough. And then if you can do things like that, that is an added bonus. But still a lot to work on. We haven't won this game already, but great way to start the game. We need to see it again in the second.
Jordan Hunt got the start tonight. 3 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, a steal and an assist. Isaiah Liafa, he gets his opening points of the game. Good to see Mucius and Liafa get going early in this third quarter. Just what the Saints wanted. As again, Natai scores an easy 2.
And that's a big one there. How are they going to reply? Saints have seen a few go through now. A couple ones from deep as well. 3 balls and falling in the net. First half. They go down to Smith-Milner as well. But a big bucket there from Jordan Natai, and they get the stop.
Harris with his 7th rebound of the evening. Natai through traffic. Hiram Harris now. He goes searching. Shot clock down to 8. Jordan Hunt for 3. That's his 2nd triple of the night.
And big. Not letting history so far in this season play a game in this one right now. They needed a couple buckets, back-to-back position. Jordan Natai gets into the paint. Next play down. Big 3 from Jordan Hunt.
Verdanovic on Lee, getting busy. Short on the shot. Ira Lee, rebound. Here come the Hawks again, starting to fly. Natai gets Smith-Milner off his feet. Pass out. Rusbatch closed down by Liafa. Lee with all the room to work. Can't convert.
Lucius. We know what he can do. We know how athletic he is. We talked about him being the athletic guy, the most athletic guy in the league. And you're right, just hasn't been able to get it going so far in this ball game.
He's got 5 points. He's now got 8.
On cue. And the 3 ball starting to fall, and that's a sign that the Saints are in their rhythm. They had nothing going in that first. 3 already in the third. And finding shots that they like, and they're hitting them.
Rusbatch, he'd love a triple of his own, and he delivers a triple. basket for basket stuff in this third quarter. Hawks back out by 15.
Same thing down the other end. They need them from certain players. Wide open shot for Ethan Rusbatch, and he makes them pay.
Adnam, he knew straight away that that shot was off. Rusbatch was 1 of 6 before that last shot, and he's just added another. Forget about the 1 of 6. He drops back-to-back triples, smiles all around for the Hawks. Even Everard Bartlett has a bit of a cheeky grin. And just like that, the Hawks have taken flight again. Here's the first one from Ethan Rusbatch from the corner. Look at that follow through. And then second one, up and about, Ethan Rusbatch. Back-to-back triples.
And he's been doing that his entire career. A little bit slower for his standards. This year, sitting around about 14 points, and that 3-ball just hasn't been falling the way we've seen it. But we know what he is capable of, and just like that, 6 quick points for Ethan Rusbatch. Next thing, though, is they have to go back to him. He's made a couple. World-class shooter is what he can do. Don't let him stand out there dry. Run some plays for him. Even if he doesn't get the ball up, the defense has to stay attached. That's when you come with your counters. Your backdoors, movement on the other side. But there are going to be eyes on Ethan Rusbatch right now. Go to him. If that doesn't work, use everything else that is coming with it too. Play off the defense.
So timeout, quickly called by the Saints. The Hawks jumping on an 11-3 run. All 12 points for the Saints this quarter have come from beyond the arc. And just looking ahead to rounds 14 and 15, bit of a quirk of the schedule. The Saints play the Jets and the Tuatara. The Hawks play the Tuatara and the Jets. So they both play the same teams over the next 2 rounds.
And one thing that the Saints won't want is to have to win that last game against the Tuatara in Auckland.
Tough.
Very, very tough.
They've won 9 in a row. Thomas into the action off the glass.
And I also think it's the way that the Tuatara are winning at the moment. They're doing it in different ways. Different players on certain days are winning, making winning plays, excuse me. But they're just doing it as a team, and it's looking, I don't want to say easy, but they're playing as a team and they're doing it the right way.
Rusbatch, 1 too many steps there, called for the travel. A rare mistake from him tonight. It's been an impressive outing this evening from the home team. Much to the pleasure of this home crowd. They haven't had a lot to smile and clap about this season here at Pettigrew Green Arena. They've definitely had some thrills and spills.
Have they what? More than most. 4 overtimes to see the foul there on Jordan Hunt. 4 overtimes and a couple of buzzer beaters that they're still talking about. But it has been tough. But at the end of the day, it's still 0 when it comes to wins in their home stadium, which is just something you don't see from this Hawks team, especially with the caliber of players that they have.
You and I were here that night in the triple overtime game against the Rams. You got home on Tuesday morning somehow. Denham Brook for 3. Nearly went down. Jordan Hunt on the battle off the glass was good, but he has reached in. Throws his arms up. Foul called. Here's that long-range shot from Denham Brook. Here's the battle. Actually, tough call in the end, I think. Both of those players were reaching in over the top of each other.
The big 5 minutes here to close out this one. Can the Saints get it back to 10? Can they blow it out? 4 minutes, excuse me.
This will help. Dougal meter, and there he is, holding up his 50% record from the arc. He's 1 of 2 tonight.
You have to tip your hat to him. Always ready to come in and shoot the ball. Literally just got on the floor. Wide open, feet were set. You see Hiram Harris get into the paint, pick up the foul. A big 3. Just to close that gap up just a touch.
I reckon Hiram Harris takes out more courtside signings than any player in the NZNBL. He'll take a visit to the TAB here. Some subs for the Saints. 2 of the imports sit down as Hiram Harris lines up at the coloured stripe.
Bryce McBride makes his way back into the ball game. 8 points. He only played 6 minutes. So a big 8. He went 3 or 4 in the first. First time he's made it back on the floor in this third. But that type of productivity If you can stay at that, stay aggressive, it's going to go a long way to helping this team win this ball game.
Rakawa just 5 minutes 28 tonight. Didn't play, what was it, the first 12 minutes of the game?
And I dug a little bit deeper, asked around. Apparently it was just it's been a tough week at training. Things were forced.
So you're saying that he sat for a while through disciplinary? Is that what you're saying?
Look, I don't know the ins and outs.
No,
I think it's probably what they need.
I think you know a little bit more than you are making out right now, Brooke Rusco. 3:26 to play in this third. Your silence is deafening. Here's Jared Kenny turning the corner. Denham-Brook wide open. He can shoot threes just like that.
And that's where the Saints have struggled all year, is on the defensive end. They can't pull it up. We talk about it constantly, but just too easy. Jared Kenny comes off a handoff, finds a wide open shooter. Two people went to Jared Kenny. Finds that man, Denham-Brook. We see Tom Vodanovic pick up the foul.
I always say with Tom Vodanovic, he's as honest as the day is long. When he fouls, he'll always put his hand up. There's that big triple from Denham-Brook. What a dagger that is for the Saints.
And they're going to have to keep making those shots. They get those wide open shots just to keep this lead at bay. 16 points right now. Possession back with them. Try and find yourself some easy shots for your wide open shooters.
Here's Hiram Harris backing down Liafa. Denham-Brook back to back. Nearly. Harris chases it down. Dougal-Meter does well to keep that in play. Back on the Saints. I wrote an article during the week, Brooke, talking about the toughest players in the league. Liafa, big triple. And I had Tom Vodanovic, number one, top of my list.
I've been lucky enough to play with Tom a few times in the career now, and he'll fight for you tooth and nail. You know what you're getting out of him every single night.
McBride.
Also a good kicking point from St. Pat's, can do no wrong.
That'll be against Marnie Dougal-Meter. Hands in the back. Lucius coming back into the game. 2 minutes to play in this third. Again, turning into a bit of an arm wrestle, but the Hawks are holding tight.
One thing the Saints have done is they've picked up that three-point percentage in this third quarter, up to 8 now in the ball game. It just didn't have anything going in that first. Let's see McBride find a little bit of space. Can't connect from that mid-range.
Here is Tom Vodanovic heading to the Philippines after this Sal's NBL season. Liafa just got a little bit lost there. Looking to hand it off, surrounded by Hawks.
Good collapsing defense, stayed on the hip. Arms high, bodies all around. Saints regain possession.
Hawks get up tonight, they move to 7th on the ladder. If they get up by 20 or more, they move to 6th. Liafa short on the shot, rebound Nartai.
And when the Saints are missing, that's the big one right there. Have to own the glass, as we see Jared Kenny find space in transition, but you have to control the glass. And they're doing a good job of that right now.
Smith-Milner, rebound number 4. Dougal-Meter, triple number 2. Brings it back to 10, just like that. Young Marnie Dougal-Meter playing his role to perfection tonight. McBride, quick footwork, hands it off. Jordan Hunt. Hippolyte is into the game, guarding Hunt at the moment. Battling inside, Denham-Brook launches from long range.
And back to 10. Couple stops in a row, threes. Sabu, they're just chipping away at this lead.
Peru Hippolyte, nice pass inside to Smith-Milner, finishes. We're back to 8.
A good look from Kafaru. Good seal deep in the paint. Toy Smith-Milner on the smaller point guard. Picks up the foul and was that deep. You almost just give that one up. Nothing you can do. A good seal, good pass, good vision. And Toy Smith-Milner goes to the line. He's up to 10 now. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a couple turnovers.
Here he is at the TAB. Join the TAB, deposit 10. Get a free $50 bonus bet. Sells NBL. Proudly supported by the TAB. T's and C's apply. R18 and bet responsibly. Official stats partner of the league. And we're at 7. So the Saints have definitely made their move. Speaking of moves, Bryce McBride, he'll head to the stripe, back the other way. And I don't want to say this. I'm really reluctant to say this. I've seen the Hawks up by a margin plenty of times here at Pettigrew Green Arena this season.
Well, one thing that I think should become a play at some point is we go to timeouts all the time. There's a player timeout when momentum's going one way that I think you can blow at certain points, especially when it's become a vocal point of the season.
Just to get together as a team.
Just get back together, slow everything. It's going down one end, especially in the first half. I know I can understand that you might save them late in the game and you want to have that one right there sitting in your back pocket.
No, I understand the strategy. I like the theory. McBride makes a couple. Handy stuff heading into three-quarter time. A late basket here for the Saints. Will carry some confidence. And this experienced man knows it. Liafa held up, gets it back now quickly. He gets on the move, dumps it off. Oh, maybe too late from the young man. It is. Didn't have the time, and the Hawks lead it with a quarter to play tonight. Massive game. Don't go away. Hawks by 9. Quarter to play in the Bay tonight, and the Hawks lead by 9. If they can get up, make no mistake, they will be celebrating. And what a way to do it would be with the Sells Super Special. The online code, DUNK, available until next Wednesday. Pick up only the $25 large cheese pizza. If the Hawks win tonight, Brooke Rusco, those large cheese pizzas will be going down a delight.
Well, I'll tell you what, win, lose, or draw, I'm grabbing one of those. On the way home, big fourth. Season on the line.
Saints scored 31 in the first half. They had 28 in the third. Dougal Meter with his third triple of the night. Leave this man on the floor.
And in the zone, you have to know where he is at all times. And if he is out there and he's got his feet set, run him off the line. Cannot allow him to have space. Shooting the ball with absolute confidence. He makes them pay, and they get the stop down the other end with a quick turnover and quick hands there from Hiram Harris.
Hawks get it back. Dougal Meter 3 of 4 from downtown. They needed that. Ira Lee responds, takes it back out to 8.
And Ira Lee did get that, but it goes back to Hiram Harris. Didn't give up on the play, as he never does. And managed to tip the ball back to his guy off Thomas. And make them pay with the 2.
Ira Lee, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Elijah Thomas mopping it all up.
Not conventional, but big. Keeps the ball at 6. Still a long time to go in this ball game, and as we talked about, it's their mental one now. Hawks have been here before. Can they close out this game? Saints need to close it out too, though. They've struggled to close out the last 2 on the road, dropping 2 in a row.
Bright short on that last shot. Feel like the Hawks need Rakawa out there. Harris with the block. Ira Lee got a hand on the second shot. Thomas gets it back and scores.
Lot of contact on that one. Biggs not giving up on the plays. Thomas ends up with it in his hands, and it's a 4-point game.
Here's McBride, pulls up the dribble. Nartai turns the corner. Another floater from him. Oh, Ira Lee getting up. Fouled on the putback, off to the stripe.
And I know I've been harping on this during the game, and it's tough to see it from this angle. But just look at the Saints bench. They've been sitting down all game long. They've been spread out across. You can see seats between. They get on a bit of a run. They find a bit of a rhythm. They're all standing up. They're all standing a little bit closer. Even when it goes down, you need to stay together as a team, but promising signs that they're huddled together now.
Here's Ira Lee. Puts the first one down. Been productive tonight. There's 11 now. They need a big last quarter from this man. Second one. Bobbles in and out. Margin at 5. Saints right back in this game.
And Saints will be feeling good at the moment. Talked about how they struggled in that first. Had 31 in the first half. Put up 28 in that one. But just looks like they're getting better shots.
Musius did get a good look. Vidanovic just pure strength underneath.
And good looks, and when they don't fall, fight, battle, scrap. You talked about it earlier in this one. Tom Vidanovic will go out and fight for you, as he does there, and that's what he will do as well. Ethan Rusbatch, if you give him space, he will make you pay.
He moves to 11 in the game as well. Basket for basket early here in the last. Adnam on the move, spinning back. Beautiful stuff from Kyle Adnam.
A tough finish. They did a good job on him in the third. Didn't score in the third. Have to make sure that he doesn't get going as he picks up the foul there on Ira Lee. The Hawks have to make sure that he doesn't get going in this fourth quarter.
He also moves to 11 in the game as well. Ira Lee back to the stripe. 3 of 5 tonight. Hawks overall 9 of 12. And he comes up well short on that first effort.
And the Saints just chip away once again.
Nervous times, long way to go. Hawks 0-6 on this court this season. Season is in the balance. They must win. Tough games coming up against the Tuatara and the Jets. The battle is on for the final 6. A win tonight for the Hawks will bring the confidence back. It'll keep them well and truly in the race. Vidanovic, big step back off the dribble. That's a loose pass. And the crowd applauding the defensive efforts of their men in black.
Yeah, big set right there. We talked about running Dougal Mead off the line. Hiram Harris did that. Forced Tom Vidanovic into a step back. Try to find Dougal Mead in the other corner. 1-2-5 turnover, ball going the other way.
Oh, look out, they've started playing the theme song here tonight. When that cranks up, that's when the Hawks start flying. Here we go, 6:40 to play. Margin at 4, foul. And guess who's going back to the TAB again? Ira Lee making his presence felt, but he's got to deliver from this spot.
Have to convert when you get to the free throw line. Have to protect the ball. Have to convert when you get to the free throw line. But like the action, they see Adnam on the weak side. Quick slip there from Lee with the double coming. Natai finds him deep enough. And Adnam saying he got all ball. But either way, it's a good look for the Hawks, but you're absolutely right. Has to connect.
4 of 8. Hasn't been a friendly place for him. Puts that one down. And just to put the emphasis on his 5 of 9 shooting from the TAB tonight, Ira Lee came into the game averaging 86% from the stripe this season.
And they're going to need every last one of them tonight, especially if he's going to stay aggressive. As Adnam gets the roll.
That is a great move.
Pushed it over. They're asking for a travel. You see Hiram Harris push, and they forced the turnover. And Saints are going the other way.
Here he goes again, the 29-year-old Aussie into Isaiah Musius. Back-to-back baskets for the Saints. And we have a ball game. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, the look away and the dunk. It's back to 1.
And it's a scary time right now. It's becoming a bit of an identity crisis. Late in ball games. Constantly thinking about how do we get this one done. Saints just chip away, chip away, chip away. We're disastrous in their first half.
And look at this from the Saints now. They come together, arm in arm. They know if they get this one tonight, they have 1.5 feet inside the final 6. Not quite there yet, but gee, very hard for them to miss out.
And I love that right there. I've been hard on them about body language, but I will give credit where it is due as well. They've turned it around. Breathing together. They need this one. You're so right. You don't want to go into Auckland and have to fight for your chances to be in the playoffs. It's a 1-point game. Wasn't working for you in the first half. You've turned it around. You're getting stops down one end, then you're finding Kyle Adnam, allowing him to get out in transition and let him make the plays. One time he gets to the rim, second time he finds his big diving. Musius on the rim, we know how athletic he is, the easiest bucket he is going to have all night. Dougal Meter has done a great job when he's got out there. Big threes. And before you know it, that is a 1-point ball game. And the Hawks had a lead as big as 18 in the third.
A long way to go. And I'm not sure what has transpired during the week with Rakawa, but I just feel like this Hawks team needs him on the court right now. 16 points a game, they're valuable. Here's Harris, second effort off the glass.
I tell you, he's going to be on the floor to close out this ball game.
He's one of the most competitive beasts in the NZNBL, Hiram Harris. Musius lost a handle on a good defense. Jared Kenny, Rusbatch comes up with it, and they settle. Harris turns the corner, goes to work. Smith Milner back at him, stepping back, strong effort, yes, big finish. Ethan Rusbatch.
You said the word effort. It's effort plays. They called that timeout. Hiram Harris has had his hands on the ball, back-to-back positions. Both times they work out. Fortuitous on that one, as we see Liafa step back and miss the 3. But the ball ends up with that man once again, Hiram Harris.
Just steadies it down. Under 5 to play. Oh, got a lot of space here. Hiram Harris maybe had too long to look at it.
Should have shot that first one. This is a great pass, dive. And Musius picks up the foul and here's the free throw line.
Adnam's ability to find gaps and thread the needle is very, very good.
Well, he's few and far between that are better than him when it comes to things like that. And there's a reason that he's been playing in the ANBL. He's been a part of the Australian squad for years and years. We all know how hard it is to make that Boomer squad or even be a part of the team. Talked about being in the team, especially at that size. Doesn't have the quickest first step, but because he does everything else so well, he's always going to put his name in the hat.
I had about 30 superlatives running through my head and thought, you know what? Just stick with very good, because that's what it is.
I think you'll have another chance before this game's over to rattle off a couple of them.
I'm writing them down as we speak. Averaging just under 9 assists per game this season, Adnam. That's his 5th of tonight. And Musius responds at the TAB. We're back at 3. Kenny now, the wily veteran.
It's going to be interesting to see who closes out the game for both teams. Kenny's back out there now as the point guard. Thomas is in there at the moment. Who's going to close this ball game out?
Harris brings it back out. Shot clock down to 3. Got to get busy now on Thomas. He does. Shot is short. Good defense from Thomas. I think that may have come off Verdanovic last.
I don't think they had this. As you see the battle here, nothing on there. Didn't hit the rim. It's got to be 24 seconds going the other way.
And I like the no whistle there. Let the contest play out. Let the big men play. In fact, it's been turned over here.
And right call.
You
Ball
think?
didn't hit the rim.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, ball didn't hit the rim on Hiram Harris as they battled, they fought for it.
And I think that's being explained now. I was looking at last hand on the sideline. Definitely looked like it came off Verdanovic last. And I think Jared Kenny just being updated to your point.
And that's why you need Jared Kenny out there, though.
You'll ask the question.
You have to ask the question.
4:12 to play. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching. And there he is, Jared Kenny, getting it back for the Hawks.
And that's how you don't give up on the play. Gamble down one end. Wrong call on the defensive end. Didn't give up on the play. Sprints back. And forces the turnover.
Rusbatch, back of the iron. Lee, offensive rebound, spinning on a couple. Can't get it to go. Loose ball picked up. Liafa. Here come the Saints. Control it. Liafa brings it back out, settles it down, goes again a second time, draws the foul. The points are good. Isaiah Liafa stepping up, standing up, right when it counts.
And he has had a quiet game. That's just his 6th point. He's only put up 6 shots. Excuse me, 8 point. He's only put up 6 shots in 30 minutes. But when they need him the most, 3 minutes and 39 seconds to step up and close this game out. Now is when it matters. Picks up the foul on Rusbatch. Gets to the line, converts, and ties the ball game up.
Amazing stuff. Biggest lead tonight from the Hawks, 18. And we're tied up. How many times have we seen this rinse and repeat situation here at Pettigrew Green Arena this season? Turnaround. Ira Lee can't get it to go. They will regain possession though.
And not on lack of effort right there. They do turn the ball over, but you just have to control the glass. No second chance opportunities at this point in the ball game. Wins to tidy it up. Good defense on one side. But you just have to make sure you come home with the basketball on every possession.
You know it's before your time, Brooke Rusco. This just has Freddy Krueger written all over it. It's just like a reoccurring nightmare. Keeps coming up.
I was about to say, who's Freddy Krueger? But
do a Google search on the way home from the game.
But if they can pull this off.
Oh, big, massive, yes, they need to. They need to get one here.
They shouldn't be here right now. They were up 18. It was working for them. Saints did a good job to fight, claw, scrap, and get this ball game back. The Hawks shouldn't be here. But if they can close this game out and walk away with the win, they can go a long way to helping them this season when it comes to the top 2 inches. Well, and can they close out games?
And their last 2 games are at home. Hiram Harris responds. Listen to the crowd here tonight. They're back out by 3 with 3 to play. And they're not done with. Thomas had it, lost it. Cops a knock. He'll have to do the hard work now from the stripe. He has some conversations with the Hawks bench. I like this though, some fight, some spirit. Season on the line. And Hiram Harris comes up big.
And it goes back to their offensive rebound. Defensive rebound, excuse me. Just didn't tidy it up. That gave them the chance to have that. Hiram Harris makes them pay with a big 3 to put his
18 in the game.
Tally out to 18 and just over 30 minutes played.
Edge of your seat stuff tonight in the Salsa NBL. Misses the second. Lee with the big rebound. That's his 11th of the game. He's been involved in everything in this last quarter. Harris, Rusbatch, Natai, the big names. The Tall Blacks Oh, great fake by Rusbatch. Deserves a basket. Ira Lee does the work in the end.
Did a great job with the up fake. You have to respect it. Gets him off the ground. Rotating at that point, and it comes back to you have to control the glass. Ira Lee with the putback and make it a 4-point ball game with 2 to go.
This is gutsy stuff tonight from the Hawks. Thomas jumping to the hoop, responds.
It looked like he got away with that one. Elbow through with the contact and then grab the net as you're going up. It just can't happen.
Jared Kenny right on it as well. He's still talking about it. Clearly looked like he did grab the net as well. So the Saints may have got away with one. Ira Lee, mid-range 2, foul on the rebound. That'll go against Kenny. Not sure if we can bring up that last shot from Elijah Thomas. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, watch this. Oh, he has.
It can't happen.
That's clear. That is absolutely clear.
You have to call that.
Well, the coin officials have missed that one. You can see from the Hawks' response there, nearly every Hawk saw what had happened. Jared Kenny's still talking about it.
I also wonder why he did it. He had a wide open layup. No one around, you can go and finish that. You don't want to put yourself in the spot where they can take away the easiest 2 you're going to get.
Well, you just don't want that to be a telling basket in the context of this game. For the lead, Smith-Milner doesn't convert. Now the Hawks slow it down. 80 seconds to play. They lead by 2. Always drama here in Hawke's Bay this season. That's a foul on Liafa. I'm a little bit stunned that the officials missed that.
Especially at this point in the game. So late. The biggest bucket up until now. Just can't miss it. But there's nothing you can do about it now.
Well, and the Hawks need to get on with it.
Big challenge here. Get past it. Close this game out. And it's an added bonus if you can close it out. Say, hey, man. We had to fight. Things didn't go our way, but we still got it done.
And we're doing that right now. Harris back at the stripe. 18 points, 9 rebounds, 4 offensive boards tonight for Hiram Harris.
I also think they're lucky to be going back here right now. Last possession, they went to Ira Lee. Contested deep 2. Not the look that he goes to. It's been big at the rim all game. This position came down. Nothing really going once again.
Look at the background. The fans just holding each other's hands. They know what it's been like this season. What a sight that was. Second one is short. Everyone nervous. Everyone crossing their fingers here tonight.
And where do you go for the Saints? Don't need a 3. You get a wide open look, obviously you take it.
Well, the Saints have lost their last 2. They need to win tonight. Adnam fouled. The blonde-haired Aussie from Lilydale in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne picks himself up.
And not only does he get to the free throw line, he also stops the clock, allows them to set up their defense. And if he can hit these 2, makes it a 1-point ball game.
Both teams still have their Sky City player timeout.
And Kyle Adnam does a good job of getting to the free throw line over and over again because he can create contact. It's his last step. Most people keep driving straight line. He veers back into contact, which pushes him out.
He doesn't miss many from here either. 87% from the TAB this season, Kyle Adnam. He is rock solid.
And the pressure and moment is one thing we know that won't get to this man as well.
14 tonight. This one will go down as well. And look at that. We're back to 1 again with 57 seconds to play. Pressure up the floor now. Smart move by the Saints. Vidanovic on Harris. One way, then the other. It settles down again as he comes across halfway. Shot clock at 11.
And nothing really going here for the Hawks. Passing around, no one's attacking.
Harris is going to go from deep. Doesn't get it. Loose ball off hands. They get it back. They settle again. Natai Drop it down, fellas. Give me some space. Smith-Milner in front of him off the glass. Gets it to go. Oh, the Hawks are up by 3. 19.7 to play. Timeout called. Will it be enough tonight? The Hawks looking to keep their season alive. Jordan Napier comes up clutch.
And it goes back to offensive rebounds. You have to tidy up the glass. They do a good job of forcing another position. Jordan Napier goes 4 flat and finishes going to his right. Can finish with the left and the right. That time high off the glass. Pushes this one out to a 3-point ball game. But you just have to tidy it up. I do worry as such though. There's 3 or 4 positions now they've come down and no one's taking control. I don't know what they've been running. They just pass the ball around. They've got the ball late.
Well, that was a second chance basket as well. So they did miss the first attempt there, got it back.
Need to go to something. Have someone who wants to take the ball. Get Jordan Napier in the paint.
14 offensive rebounds for the Hawks tonight. They have 20 second chance points. That is big.
And that's where it's just heart right now. Nothing going on those first positions. It's the second one that is keeping them in this ball game right now. If they can tidy that up, if they can have something to go to, have someone to go to, and then continue to crash the boards, they're going to get themselves 2 chances. At the moment, I feel like they're giving themselves 1 by crashing the paint.
Biggest margin tonight, 18. Hawks now by 3. Jared Kenny brings the troops together. I can't begin to explain how many times we've been in this position this season. It is just like a record playing over and over. Sky City player timeouts alive for both teams. Saints ball, Adnam. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Musius. No. Loose ball off the hand of Harris. The Saints get it back. 11 seconds to play.
I feel like when we play here, we should just start the game now. 11 seconds to go. We'll make it close.
0-0 overtime period 1.
Because it's a given. Deja vu, we are back here once again. Nothing else matters. Everything you've been through to this point.
Saints usually very good off the baseline. Musius on the attack. Loose ball. Gets its way to Vidanovic. Can't get the shot. They get it back for 2. There's a foul. 1.9. They needed a big triple. They've had their chances, the Saints. Clear looks at the basket. Vidanovic. Musius gets after it. Putback was really good from Isaiah Musius.
And no argument there. I thought there was a lot of friendly fire. Smith, Milner, and Musius all around the same area. Might have got a high. One of the Hawks players on the arm. But Musius goes to the line, has to make the first.
Got to make the first. Got to hope for a rebound. If the Hawks get it here on a rebound or on the baseline, they'll definitely go for a Sky City player timeout and just clear the danger down the other end. No question. In fact, you can see Jordan Napier letting every coin official know
this is what we're doing.
We're calling it. He's made them well aware. Jordan Hunt to come back in. I don't mind that. Give them some tall timber if they need it. Rebound will be critical here. If the second one misses, timeout call. So the coaches here want to discuss this. 3-point margin, 1.2. Saints at the TAB stripe. And if the Saints go down tonight, the pack is coming because the Giants and the Hawks are breathing down their neck.
And how exciting is it? Saints have already sold out their next game.
Saints play the Jets next week, and the Jets must win to stay in contention. They lose next week, it is just about curtains.
And we know that they can. They proved that
last week. And this is a different looking Saints team. No Darnay Samuel tonight. We don't know if he'll be back. He may not be there next week. He may not be there the week after. Paris is actually a fair way from here.
Paris is a beautiful place too.
Kyle Adnam talking instructions here. This is how we can win it. This is how we can tie it up. This is what we can do. He's a man of great experience.
Oh, he's been here once or twice.
On both sides.
On both sides, you're absolutely right.
Sure he has.
And a low scoring affair. Both teams will look back at this game and go, hey, there was missed opportunities. Saints sitting on 84 right now, 87 for the Hawks. We know what they can do, how they can fill it up.
I can't begin to explain. We sit here and we see 1.2 seconds on the clock. The crowd sees it. The viewers at home, you see 1.2. To these players and these coaches, 1.2 is enough time for so many things in a game of basketball.
That's all you need as the crowd make their way down.
Look at Jared Kenny on the sidelines, just watching every move here. Jordan Hunter's come into the play. That's a good move. Tall timber. First shot. Mucius is in. Margin of 2. 1.2. A make here. You'll get a player timeout. A miss. The rebounds are huge. Thomas. Vidanovic up against Harris and Lee. Look at Ira Lee. Ready to bang bodies. It misses. Lee gets it. Calls the Sky City player timeout. So there's going to be time on the clock here. They probably didn't need it in the end.
Didn't need it. But what they did need was the rebound, and he tidied it up. Didn't give them a chance. Wiped the glass. Ball going the other way. Did what he needed to do. Lucius gave them a chance.
Yep.
It's hard to do what he just did. Make the ball bobble. Hopefully they get their timing wrong on the jump and give yourself a chance. He did all he could do, but Ira Lee tidied it up.
Waiting to see what will go on the clock here.
Picked up his 15th rebound to go along with 15 points in this ball game.
Now, Sky City player timeout. I know it's only a minor thing. Jordan Nartite having a talk to his former GM, Jordan Mills. The inbound ball should actually be on this side of the court. And in fact, they're just fixing that up now. I think the Hawks would prefer to be away from the Saints bench as well. Gauging by some of that conversation. 0.9, they just need to hold it. That's it. Game over. Finally. The duck has been broken. The monkey on the back has been sent packing. 2-point win to the Hawks. Man, did they need that. Season alive. Question marks on the Saints now. But right here, Pettigrew Green Arena, this crowd is going to savour every moment. Highlights of the second half. And you've just got to stand and salute. They've finally done it.
Fortitude. They got it done. They didn't make it easy. They made it as hard as they possibly could on themselves. They were up 18 in the third. Allowed the Saints to get out and run. Gave them too much space with the three. Saints had all the momentum with 3 to go. And a big Hiram Harris three gave them a little bit of space. And that was all they needed to close out this game and finally get their first win at home here in the Bay.
2 home games to come for the Hawks against the Tuatara and the Jets. Saints head home to play the Jets, and in round 15 they're on the road against the Tuatara. Coming up tomorrow in the NZNBL, the top 4 go head to head. What a day that's going to be. A day and a night. The Nuggets against the Bulls, the Tuatara and the Rams.
Cannot wait.
Big stats tonight with thanks to TAB. Leading scorer in the game, Hiram Harris, 19 points, 9 rebounds. Ira Lee, 15 points and 15 rebounds. His last quarter in particular, really important. Kyle Adnam with 15 for the Saints. But importantly, as we close out, Brooke Rusco, look at this team in the middle of the floor. Applause all round. Finally, they've won at home, and it may just be the catalyst and the confidence they need for what lies ahead.
They can take that deep breath. We've finally done it. The weight off the shoulders. It was grind, it was scrappy, wasn't clean, wasn't tidy, but who cares? All you need to do is walk out here with that first win that you needed, and they did it without one of their key guys for the majority of the game.
Yep.
Jerome Roca was set on the bench, played 5 minutes. It's been huge for them all year long, and they still got it done. Big, big team win against a Saints team that was hungry and needs a win as well. Going the other way, what happens next for the Saints? What do they change? What do they do? What sets do they run? Who becomes their guys? Where do they find their points? How do they get their stops?
Does Darnay Samuel return?
Does Darnay Samuel return? Abundance of questions. But that's the beauty of this league right now. Everybody is in the fight.
Another thriller tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hawks home by 2. And the final 6. That race is well and truly red hot and alive. Make sure you join us again tomorrow for more action. Another double coming your way. We'll see you from 4 when the Nuggets host the Bulls. Bye-bye for now.